welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're stepping into what might be the most scrutinized role in education, the head teacher.
Absolutely.
And we're not just looking at, some external inspection list. This is different.
Right. We're diving into a specific internal reflection structure. It's like an audit tool they use themselves to measure their own effectiveness.
Across 5 really crucial areas.
And that responsibility, it's just immense. The baseline here is that the head is, responsible for all outcomes, full stop.
That sounds incredibly heavy.
It is. But our sources immediately try to reframe that burden. It's less about command, more about care. That's Simon Sinek line.
Oh, yeah. Leadership is not about being in charge.
It is about taking care of those in your charge. So our mission today is to see how that idea of care actually plays out across these 5 specific governance areas.
Okay, so let's unpack this framework. Where do we start?
Well, the first area is really the core academic engine, curriculum and instruction.
Right. The framework pushes leaders first on curriculum planning and execution. And there's this massive tension built in, isn't there?
Exactly. You've got to align the content with, rigorous national standards.
But at the same time, make it work for the specific local needs of your students.
And the source material grounds this philosophically right away. It's not just about ticking boxes. It makes leaders think about that William S. Burroughs idea. The aim of education is the knowledge, not of facts, but of values. So
the leader's job is making sure the curriculum builds, good citizens, not just kids who can pass tests.
Precisely. That's the vision piece.
Okay, so that's the vision. But how does this structure ensure that vision actually translates into effective teaching, consistently in every classroom?
That brings us straight to the second area, instructional quality.
Makes sense.
The framework insists on systems for ongoing growth. We're talking professional development, obviously, but also targeted observation, mentoring.
Practical stuff.
Yeah, the mechanisms that build real accountability, not just for teachers trying hard, but for the actual quality and consistency of the teaching itself across the whole school.
So moving beyond the academics, the teaching practices, we hit what many say is the real foundation: culture and staff dynamics.
Definitely. This is all about cultivating an environment where staff and students feel, safe, valued, and hopefully inspired.
We often hear that Peter Drucker quote, right? Culture eats strategy for breakfast.
It's famous for a reason. It stresses that the environment often matters more than just the plans you make.
But is that just, corporate speak? How does this head teacher framework make culture something tangible they can actually audit, not just nice words on a poster?
That's a great question. And the framework does differentiate. Culture is maybe the overall feel of the school.
Okay.
But staff dynamics, that's about the leader's specific actions. The framework demands they model professional behavior, actively step in to resolve conflict.
So leading by example.
Exactly, and implementing specific strategies to build trust. It directly links a failing culture back to whether the leader effectively managed their team's interactions and behavior.
Right. If the team dynamics are off, the culture suffers.
It's almost inevitable.
Okay, so we've got curriculum, instruction, culture, staff dynamics. All of this needs resources to actually happen.
Which leads us neatly into the fifth key area, operational foundations. Managing the practical stuff, infrastructure, materials, finances.
This part feels less about the big philosophy and more about the nuts and bolts systems.
It is. And the absolute key requirement here seems to be transparency, equitable distribution, sustainability, making sure resources are used fairly and efficiently.
No waste, no hidden agendas.
And that's tricky, isn't it? Because any hint of favoritism in how resources get allocated,
you can completely undermine the trust you're trying to build with the culture and staff dynamics piece.
Instantly. It highlights how interconnected all these areas really are.
So pulling this all together for you listening, we've seen the immense breadth of this head teacher role.
Yeah.
It stretches from high-level pedagogical vision, remember, values over mere facts, all the way through to cultural stewardship, managing staff behavior, right down to the nitty-gritty of fiscal transparency. It's a constant balancing act.
Truly is.
And the reflection structure we looked at, it ends with this really powerful prompt about legacy. It asks the leader to think. Given these 5 critical, often high-tension areas, curriculum, instruction, culture, staff dynamics, operations, which one would you say is the single most defining factor for the legacy they leave behind?
That's a tough question to end on. Makes you think, doesn't it?
It does.
If a leader nails the budget, the facilities are perfect, but the culture feels toxic, or the teaching is just okay. What's the real lasting impact? For the students, for the staff, that's the core question this framework forces leaders, and maybe all of us, to wrestle with.